kept track of episodes before. It's funny. All right, everybody.
Wait, before we start, what am I looking at? Am I just looking at the camera? We're gonna talk.
No, we're just gonna talk bullshit. I'm just gonna talk to the camera for a second.
Want me to close the door?
No, I don't give a fuck. It's better to see people, especially like
Yeah,
like you just inadvertently like people just being assholes. All right, everybody, it's Rattle My Cage with Danny Cage. My guest this week, LSG, Leon St. Giovanni, the Human Rocket. What else were you?
We're not gonna say it.
No, but you were. What were you? No, I'm not going to reveal that. But what else were you? Weren't you like some kind of manhunter or animal hunter?
Yeah, I was kind of like a
big game hunter.
in for the kill.
That was your. Don't knock on my table. It was
a hunter.
You were in for the kill. Is that what your gimmick was?
Yeah, that's where it's still in my music too.
Is it really? That's great. All right, so Gio is here. We call him Gio. This is episode 2 of Rattle My Cage. The greatest. I'm so horrible at introductions because I think they're just so petty. Mm-hmm. So much so I'll wind up burping. I just think it's funny because like you came here. Was it 3.5, 4 years? Was it 4 years?
4 years. 4 years.
So how'd that all come together? Like, didn't Thomas Rodman have something to do with that?
Oh yeah, the inchworm. So I was kind of like floundering around the Indies and only training once a week at different schools, and then I ended up at a show in Maine, and this weird guy, a really weird guy.
Yeah.
He goes up to Tim, and he says, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of yours. Can I take a picture with you?" And
Amazing.
I'm like, this is a rib, right? This random dude. I didn't know who he was. Wanted to take a picture with Tim. So Tim's taking pictures with him in the locker room. And
sounds about right.
Eventually he's like, "Where do you guys train?" And he found out that like the school we were going to had closed down. And he's like, "Why don't you guys try the Monster Factory in New Jersey?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we've heard about that. We don't know much about it." But he's like, "Why don't you go check it out?" So then Tim went first to check it out, like maybe a few weeks before me, and that's when he checked out the Briscoe seminar. I think that's the one that Cutler got picked up at.
Yeah.
And he told me it was awesome. So then like 3 weeks later, I came in, and I talked to you about joining. I know you gave me a hard time at first, but...
Yeah, what did I give you a hard time about?
I think, I remember this, you said this, right? You said, "How much money can you give me right now?" I was like, "Oh, I just bought a car," and you said, "Was it your dream to have a new car or to be a pro wrestler?" And I'll never forget that. And I was like, damn, he's right.
Because it blows my mind, especially when someone's like, "I wanted to do this my whole life."
Yeah.
Well, then why wouldn't you save your money?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but I figured it out, made it work, and got started like shortly after that, and I was full time and been here ever since.
And you guys, I mean, you had a crew. It used to be you, Tim.
And then Clutch joined right after us. He joined like maybe a couple weeks after us.
And then you guys used to be like the crew that ran together.
Yeah, we're all from Central Jersey, so we would alternate driving, and then slowly but surely, it went down to 2 guys.
Because a woman got in the way.
Who dates in the business anyway?
Yeah, I know.
But
You're probably the only person I told to date in the business.
Right. Which is pretty funny.
But yeah. If anyone doesn't know, Team Spicy, because all they do is post they're basically stealing the Michael Kanellis.
No, they got that from us. The power of love.
The power of love. Gabby Ortiz and LSG.
Yeah.
Team Spicy. So yeah, she's in Japan right now, so that's why I get a moment alone with him to talk, because usually he's not allowed to talk without her by his side.
Right.
She runs the show.
She's the money maker.
True story. That's all not true, but keep going. So you guys were the crew.
Yeah.
Running together.
So it went down to Hughes and I, and then eventually Hughes transitioned out of here, and it was just me.
Which was the most amazing transition ever. It was, I mean, we got past it, and everything's cool now, but that was like one of those odd things that just, people in wrestling, like people will come in and out of your lives, and people will come in and out of the school, like, you would be amazed at how many people burn bridges when, like, wrestling never forgets, and someone in wrestling never forgets. And there is always a way back, but, like, you never want to burn bridges, especially over nonsense, especially when like you don't understand, especially someone who's been like a year or two doesn't even understand wrestling. Everything that goes involved in, especially with running a company, not only running a company, but running multiple things underneath that company, and then for someone to like think they know better, it blows your mind. So you've recently been featured more and more on Ring of Honor. Like, how did you get into the door of Ring of Honor?
Well, obviously you brought in Kevin Kelly, and that was our little opening to that world.
And that was what, 2014? So I think that's when Ian Riccaboni got discovered too.
I think it was like May 2014. And I know the camp was coming up, and I didn't feel like I was anywhere near ready. And I remember you pushing me to do it. You said, "Just go sign up. What's the worst that could happen?"
Right, and that's why I had a discussion with Luis about it, because he's like, "I don't think we should have had so many people in."
Yeah.
But I cleared it with Hunter, the last camp.
Right.
And the reason I wanted it is, I want them, like everyone goes, "Oh, you got to go out and you got to, experiment. You got to do this. You got to do that." Well, a lot of these kids, like Hex, Shad, Royal, Primal Fear, Burke, they needed it.
Yeah.
Like they needed it to realize what I'm doing is good, but there's so much more. And oh my God, everything that they're saying is the things that the coach has been saying.
Yeah, it reinforces it. But they need to see, like, I think sometimes they get frustrated because they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
What's up, Dobbs?
Danger Mouse in there, bro.
What?
Danger Mouse. Fucking the Brian Hendrick.
What'd he do?
We're walking through the spot, right? And he's like, all right, arm drag. When he goes to the arm drag, he dives at Nick for the arm drag and headbutts Nick, like, right in his, like. So Nick, like, got his loopy right now.
Perfect.
Loopier.
Maybe make them smarter.
Amazing. And we'll leave that in the podcast, too.
I know you do.
Henrik.
But like I think that they get frustrated and they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you bring them there and you show them this path that they can take,
Right.
that they train at the factory and get ready, and maybe they can take that next step, it gives them something to work towards. And
But I also love not having a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, because you don't want to get complacent.
No, and
You always want to be reaching for something. That's how I feel.
no, but I like not having it.
Not at all.
No, not at all. If you're stuck
Well,
in a
you
cave,
never want to be satisfied. That's
if
how
you're
I am.
stuck in a cave, right, and there's no light, are you just gonna sit on your ass?
No, you're gonna.
You're gonna keep digging
Yeah.
because you want to live.
Of course.
If there's no light at the end of the tunnel and you love wrestling, you're doing it because you love wrestling.
Right.
So that's gravy. All that's gravy. But that's why I make sure that we torture the kids. We put them through everything. Then we go, see, this is what you can do. You know, that's why right off the bat, we do what we do. That's why I refuse to remember people's names.
Yeah.
There's always a design for everything. That's why I am the way I am. It's just years of doing it and discovering what works and what doesn't work. So you got in the door, Ring of Honor.
Yep.
You did their camp. How'd you make out? Did you have the big game thing going? I'm pretty sure you did.
I did at first because Kevin Kelly actually liked it, and he was. I remember he told me, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I thought of some good lines for you. I was mowing my grass.
That's
And
right, you told me
I thought of
about
a
that.
song, and he was feeding me lines. He wanted me to run with it, and not necessarily. I'm not actually, going after animals. I'm taking out, the big game, which is
Right.
for the big
Wrestlers.
wrestlers. But I think that at the time, the same gimmick was happening in NXT with with Kruger.
Yeah, Kruger.
So maybe let's get away from that. So then I had to rethink, and that went to the next phase of my career here, into
Then you-
experimenting with some new
yeah,
things.
the Push Brothers, which was the
We never brought that to a camp though. Oh man, that would have been money.
they would have said exactly what we said. What is that?
It's a lifestyle. It's just I can't explain it.
It was like you
don't even
can't.
know.
I couldn't. Even, my face is so great on that one picture. He captured it like I'm just
I
like.
don't even know.
It was literally like Sebastian was just like, I got to get a picture of this because I'm like, tell me exactly what the Push Brothers is, and then like you guys try to explain it.
We'll
and
explain it
and-
one day.
And I was just like, amazing. And then, and that goes back to I always have a reason I do things. we're going to let the cat out of the bag. You were War. You might say you're not War, but you
One
were
time
War.
I was.
Yeah, one
For a
time.
photo shoot.
Yeah,
For that one photo
Yeah,
shoot.
for a photo shoot. But you said like you wanted to be the superhero,
Right.
and I was just like, I don't see that when you wrestle. And I was like, you have to get more animated. You have to be different than what you are. And that's when I busted your balls. I said, who are you, average man? I was like, because you're average. You put it this way, you would be like a great utility hitter. You would be, somebody, but you wouldn't be the star. You would be somebody you get plugged into a show. Like now you're a star. Back then, if you were stayed doing what you were doing, you would, I don't think, would be in the position you're at now, because you had no fire. You would do the generic fire of, yeah, and that was it.
Yeah, totally.
But that's why I was like, I'm going to give you War and run with it and see what you can do. And then you started doing different things. You started getting more animated. You started getting darker. You started being more sadistic. You realized that all you had to do was like gyrate a couple times and do a couple things, and then the moves were just gravy on top of it.
Yep.
So
Helped me with my promos too.
yeah, and then your promos got better, and then all of a sudden, we took that off you, and then, LSG was born, and you're completely different. Like, if you watch your first matches when you were, like, your bumping was about the same, your selling is way different, your offense is way different, just your presence in the ring, is unbelievable compared to what it was then. So when you did the Ring of Honor camp, what was your main feedback, and who were the coaches at the time? It was probably the
Briscoes, Lethal, BJ Whitmer, Todd Sinclair, Delirious, I think, Kevin Kelly, of
Right.
course. Who else? Oh, Mike Bennett and Maria, actually.
Yep.
And they got to see me do the War character. And it's funny, Maria's actually the one, she pulled me aside and the other guys in my match, and she was giving me some pointers about different movements I can do in the ring, different things to like convey the character. And like that stuff will stick with me forever. Even though I'm not doing that character anymore, there's like these little movements and the way you can use your eyes and like the way you find a camera. And she was teaching me that day, and that stuff will stick with me forever.
Now, who were some of the other students there? Not our students, but overall, who else was at the camp?
At those camps, it's probably Cheeseburger, Will, who are now assistant trainers there.
Luis was at that camp, wasn't he?
Luis was there. Our guys, Congo was there.
QT was there, I think.
QT was there. Yep. This is all 2014, 2015.
Because I think this was a camp I believe I was at, or I was at one day.
Yep.
Or, because I don't think I saw you do the War character there. I might not have been at this one. I might have been at ones earlier, and then came later. Because when I came there, Bennett was there, and then Karina was there a couple times.
Yep.
So who else was there? Like, just random names like that you can think of.
Oof. So many of them have passed through here. I mean, like TK Orion, that's where he got looked at. Vinny Marseglia. Guys like Victor Andrews, who's been here before, and there's a lot of guys. Basically, everybody who you see featured on a Future of Honor match, or even guys who have contracts now, they all pass through that.
Yeah, that's why I
camps.
push everybody to do the camps.
It's really
so ridiculous not to.
People think it's like a joke, and I'm like, what? If they think it's a work.
Yeah, it's
and you look
just
at the
stupid.
roster, and half the roster came to the camps.
What amazes me is, I'm actually going to write a blog about this, but this is my point of it.
Yeah.
I hate when people go like, oh, it's a money grab. Like, these are the same people that try to sell pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. You just had a show. That's enough money for you. Okay, now you're going to sell pictures? It's a money grab. That picture only costs you 30 cents. The business is a money grab. Everything is a money grab. Like, it blows my mind. Like, all of a sudden, like, someone's going to be awesome, and you're going to go, like, we're not going to hire them. Like, they always say at the camp, like, no, I wish we could hire them, but, this is just a money grab.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's just do the math. You're there for 2 days, 12 hours a day. I'm pretty sure Christopher Daniels and all those other guys could be doing something better with their lives for 24 hours.
Yep.
Actually, for all intents and purposes, 48 hours because you're there 2 days. But, they don't get paid anything for it. It's part of their deal. So for 12 hours, like for example, like our camps, they go, oh, it's all work. Dude, do the math. If I would do birthday parties, I would make more money than doing the camps.
Yeah.
Because I would just go, okay, we're going to do birthday parties Friday and Saturday. We have 2 rings, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7 o'clock. So there's 10 parties, $400 a pop. $4,000, no overhead. I don't have to pay anybody. I don't have to fly anybody in. I don't have to worry about people. That's it. I'd make $4,000 in a day.
Yeah.
So in 2 days, I can make $8,000. So if it's a money grab, why wouldn't I do that instead of having an area where for people to network, to work with other people, to try new things, to get their name out there, to experience what real training's like. So like there's people who say like it's a money grab, it just blows my mind. It's so infuriating, but it's so easy to say that because it's the bitter wrestling vet,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the guy who goes, I don't want to do that, I'll get exposed.
Right.
You know?
They don't want to. They don't want to hear the critiques.
No, they don't want to hear the critique.
I tell people all the time, Ring of Honor does not go out and scout people. Yeah, they might be aware of people, but they don't go out of their way for it.
Right.
That's what the camp is for. They want people with initiative. They want people who want to.
Yeah, and that's why
come,
you have. That's
go
why you
get
have
a job.
them.
They want people to create their own job. They want them to show up and
Yeah,
show what they can do.
and that's why you have them pay the $300 it is for the camp. Because if it was free, of course there'd be a line around the building. It's free. And if you and you get so much more back into it. Same with like our camps, all the different bookings and stuff. Like if Ian didn't show up to our camp, he would not be the voice of Ring of Honor right now.
Right.
Simple as that. You know, if Cutler didn't do our camp, he wouldn't be at NXT right now.
Yeah.
So.
Like this last TV taping in Lowell, we had so many guys just from the factory alone. It was on the card. You had Punishment Martinez, you had me, Shaheem, Hughes, you had Mikey Webb, Josh Briggs, Ian Riccoboni, you had Rico De La Vega. Like so much representation.
Yeah.
It's all because of the camps.
Right.
They started somewhere and they started here.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. Like, you know, like I eventually I want to sit down with the guys from Ring of Honor and like just bring the camps here.
Yeah.
You know, just bring it here. We have this room here.
Well, that one time was really successful. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
When they came here.
When the ring broke and they had to come here, and especially because everyone's like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yep.
And that's another thing. Like, for example, like next weekend we got Hybrid coming in because I'm friends with Brett Lauderdale and those guys over at Hybrid, and they were in a jam, and I usually don't rent the building out to people, but you know, they were behind the 8 ball and they needed to get bailed out, and I was like, all right, no problem. Plus Abyss is on the show. I'm good friends with Abyss, and there's other people on the show that I'm friends with, and I was like, well, if I don't step up, then either someone else is going to take advantage of them, or they're not going to be able to run the show, and then whatever. But there will be a lot of people who, for the first time, will come into Monster Factory, and hopefully they'll be back because they'll see how it's run. And not only that, there's different wrestlers that have probably never been here.
Right.
So they're going to come and be like, oh shit, I want to work here. This is nice. We have a locker room, there's showers, there's air conditioning, there's heating. Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow. So like that's like another thing. And even like when Ring of Honor's ring broke and Bob Evans called me up, he goes, hey, we thought about you right away. Can we? What'll it take? And I was like, just get here. Oh, you no money? No. Like, I'm going to get, you got to think about it. Like, okay, great. Let's say if I said $1,000, sure, I'd have $1,000 in my pocket. But that's also in the back of the head of, like, I understand, like, it's about making money, but I look at the opportunity. I look
Yeah.
at return on
It's an
investment.
investment.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I don't even have anything to worry about. They just get in here and they get to see everything, and then everybody gets to see our place, and we get to network and talk, and everything goes from there, and it's a snowball effect, and serendipity, and everything leads to everything, and, you know, like, Rico's, you know, getting to do commentary with Ian. Like, how cool is that? Like, both of our guys, you know, and he'll be calling matches for you and for Shaheem and for, you know, Punishment and, you know, just stuff like that. That's what's awesome. And I just got done doing a radio show, and they were asking me, do you guys, or any of you guys going to be doing extra work for WWE? I was like, I just stopped contacting them. Because I would contact them, and they don't, you know, they've used our guys maybe 3 times in the last year. So I'm just like, it's just, I mean, sure, it's good experience for our kids, but like, I'd rather you guys go drive to North Carolina or go do a booking or do something else than have me constantly email them and constantly be ignored. It's not like we're turning out crap. It's not like our guys suck.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna be ignored. And you know, same with like, you know, at one time they wanted to know dates I could go into. They asked me dates to go into work at the Performance Center. I gave it to them, and then I asked them again, and I gave them updated stuff, and they're just like, well, there's no plans to bring you in. Cool. Like, then I won't bother you. Like, you'd figure that you'd want the guy who's directing people towards you. So now I'll just, you know, I like Ring of Honor a lot more. They're more friendly to me. They're right down the road from us. They do nothing but help us and try to do what's right by us, and we do right by them. So I'll just
It's a good relationship.
keep doing that. Yeah, I'll just keep doing that. So after you got in there, like, what feedback did you get from coaches? Was it just, let me guess, I think you told me about it, but like they probably
In the
didn't
beginning,
really like
the first time?
Yeah, the first time. Like they probably, like the war thing I thought was cool because like Kevin Kelly said it should be like a conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Oh,
'cause
you
that's-
get a little twist to it.
yeah, because like when I first designed the character, I wanted war to be military version of mankind.
Right.
I wanted him to be everything that was horrible about
Yeah.
war. Like war is hell, mankind is horrible. Like
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like that guy. Like in the end, like you would actually became babyface because like it would have got out that like you're like this because of war. You were put through things. You saw things you shouldn't have
Right.
seen, and all this, and you know, and then like it could eventually lead to something else. And
Yeah.
but yeah, they took it to the conspiracy
Yeah,
theory
well-
stuff, which was also cool because like you know the Alex Jones and Infowars and all
Well,
that.
your route, like I still kind of went your route, and then like I think you can take the conspiracy theory gimmick and make it a heel or babyface,
Right.
Because you can almost like you're trying to help the people,
Yeah.
bring them the truth, and I think I could have taken it that way if we kept doing it, and I think people started getting behind it.
I came up with a great character the other day. I thought of it when I was looking at Cody's picture.
Oh boy!
I want a white privilege character.
Wait, do we have anybody from that? Who
I
can we,
want like a white privilege.
who can we give that to?
I don't know, but it's gonna be good. And like you basically just go like, I get to do this, I get to do this, I get to. You know why?
Oh boy!
Like without saying it, because they're like, what are you talking? Or just go like this and like this. We're like, what's he talking about? His muscles and his good looks. Like, but the underlying and the surface is white privilege. Like he'd be like, I got pulled over today.
Let me go.
Just a
Let me
warning.
go.
Just a warning. You know, and I got a police escort because I was running late.
Oh my god!
My plane was, my flight got bumped. I got a $500 voucher. I got a hotel room. So I think like you could really go far with it. I think it would be hilarious. And then we do like the segments where the old Eddie Murphy skit where he's black and he paints himself white. Did you ever see those skits?
No.
Amazing. Like literally he goes undercover as a white guy.
Oh, he's
so he
treated
goes,
differently.
it's awesome. So he goes into the bank and he sits down. He's like, a black guy's there with him. He's like, I'm sorry, sir, you're not going to be able to get this loan. We're not going to be able to work with you. Your credit's that bad. So then like a white guy comes, he goes, let me talk to him for a couple minutes. So he leaves and he's just like, here. And he goes to give him, he goes, take all the money. He's like, really? It's Eddie Murphy, you know, very white. Really? He's like, yeah, take it. And he's like, that guy doesn't know. He goes, yeah, silly Negro. And like, he's like, so like everything like is, like it was so great. Like at one point, like they're in like a restaurant or something and everything's like nice and calm because like there's a black couple there. And as soon as like the black couple leaves, like the door goes to like close and like everybody comes out and strippers come out. They're like partying. So like, yeah, you could really do something fun. Not you, but with the white privilege character. I think it would be hilarious. I got to think.
Your gimmicks are nuts.
I know, but it's so good. It's so good.
It would work today.
Yeah.
Especially today.
Yeah. And my political stuff would have worked. I kept saying it, and they're like, no, you can't bring politics. Now, the liberal guy is everywhere.
Oh yeah, that guy's everywhere.
So,
The,
and then the guy who loves Trump in Mexico.
What?
Yeah, there's a guy who's, yeah, he comes to make America great again in Mexico, and he's over.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. What other I'm trying to think of some of the other fun gimmicks I came up with. I came up with a lot of fun factions. Like we had the Forgotten Ones.
Yep.
It was like Grey Wolf, Reed, Cruz.
Galleon.
Yeah. So like that was a cool faction. And then QT, Luis, and Riddle had the real life heels, but that didn't really, because that came as soon as Riddle started getting hot, like he was out the door, so that was tough to keep that running.
Yep.
What else did we have? Come on, the Beast Cartel.
Beast Cartel, Primal Fear.
Primal Fear. What did they name it first? Primal Hate or something like that?
Something like that.
And I was just
Primal
like, no, I
Hate.
hate it. I was like, plus Primal Fear is one of my favorite movies.
They made the Fellowship recently.
Yeah, Fellowship, but then like some guy called up complaining
Yeah,
that it was his gimmick, and I'm like, I so wanted to just run with it and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it, because like I know they didn't copyright it, trademark it, whatever. I'm just gonna run with it, and I'll just eventually like have characters in it named after them, but it'll be pets.
Yeah.
They'll come in with a cat named whatever one of their members is,
Yeah.
and another one of the members is, and something else, and a blow-up doll named after one of the members. But yeah, they were done. The Fellowship was done. That ended before it even started.
You notice I've never been in a faction before.
Nah? Oh yeah, you were. The militia.
Oh yeah, that's the other guy though.
Yeah.
I'm channeling the LSG right now. Yeah, that could have been pretty cool. We did that for a couple months.
It just so looked trash bag wrestler.
Oh yeah, it did.
But it worked. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people like were like, yeah, it works, but it just so looked trash bag wrestler.
Yeah.
Like that's another reason like I had major get away from the fatigues, even though supposedly I gave him bad advice, even though everybody knows what I was talking about. But yeah, we talked about it on the last podcast. It was so great because Chad goes, "Yeah, I heard." Because he brought it up. He segued great because we were talking about like why somebody did something. He's like, "Well, I heard Danny Cage gave him the advice." Yeah, but that's another reason why. Because like it just looked too indie wrestling, like everybody in the military stuff, and then you actually had people. It's amazing. It fucking amazes me how stupid people are in wrestling. Like. Legit angers me.
I'm not amazed by it at all.
No, like you gotta realize what I deal with, I deal with. So like, this is what fucking assholes are. Like seriously, this infuriates me so much. For example, like, pro wrestling. You could pretend to be a lumberjack. You could pretend to be a Satan worshiper. You could pretend to be a Viking. But if you pretend to be in the military and not in the military, they go stolen valor.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
It's funny.
it's fucking amazing.
I got
So
some-
like anybody who ever played anybody in the military in movies,
Stolen Valor.
stolen valor.
Yeah.
You fucking
We're gonna
assholes.
boycott it.
You fucking assholes. Like I hate people. I hate them. Like that. Like I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, I fought for my country and I got that, and I'm just like, I hate
It's
you.
funny you brought that up because I actually was thinking of taking a spin on a character where like War was actually a fraud. That he was like a guy that he's basically just stealing valor. It's just because our good
He
friend
takes his mask off.
because Joe Gibson said something. I was like, stolen valor. I was like, maybe I could work that in.
He
Eventually,
takes
this
his
guy's a
mask
fraud.
off and it's Mike Burke.
Yeah. Or it's Gotti. It's Gotti.
Oh my,
Take off
it's
the
Jason
mask.
Gotti.
Like you see me and then you zoom in. Take the
Yeah,
mask,
I
it's
said
Gotti.
that would be great. That
Like
would be
Scooby-Doo.
great. That would be great. Fucking.
But,
yeah,
like-
I just hate people like that. It just blows my mind.
Like going back to the gimmicks and the factions, you see a lot of guys not want to trust the process. Like
Oh, yeah.
nobody. That's why I take pride in. I'm like the only guy still here,
Yeah.
besides Luis. Like if you look at like when I started, it was me, Cruz, Shaheem, Hughes, Cutler for a little bit before he left, Clutch, Major, Bennett. Like they're all gone, and they're either not wrestling anymore,
Or they just don't have it.
they don't have I don't think they really have a good plan in place. So like
Well,
they don't want to listen. And like some of the stuff that you pitched to me, I didn't like it, but I figured out a way to make it work. And in the end, I think it's paid off.
Yeah, that's the reason why I did it. Like that's why. Did you hear Luis's reaction when I said, "Don't be Rico"?
Yeah.
And he's like, what's he supposed to be then? Just go and just cut it. And he cut a great babyface
Yeah,
promo.
he did. Yeah, it was really good.
But if I said cut a babyface promo as Rico De La Vega, he would not have been able to do it.
Right.
So that's when I said, see, you can do it. Now you just have to be. Speaking of Rico, where the fuck is he?
He's at the show in Edison.
Did he tell me about that? I
Yeah,
feel
he does commentary for them, I think.
Oh, for the BP. I feel bad. What is it?
BBWF.
Okay, I feel bad. Like I can't keep track.
Those
of
are
this
our WrestlePro friends are involved with that.
shit. Yeah, I feel bad because I can't keep track of that shit. Yeah, but like, and the best is people will start off and they'll be so good and do so good, and then like something gets in their head, where somebody gets in their head or they get in their own head, then they start seeking advice from the wrong people. Or the people that will validate what they, like, put it this way, there could be 100 people they ask. 99 of them could back me. That one that says and backs this, well, such and such said, won't tell the other 99 that.
Right.
So, yeah, that's one of the most frustrating things about running the school. Like, I heard somebody was complaining that we don't let anybody go anywhere. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I let people, I know, like, I just let our kids do quality shows. I don't, like, have our kids missing training to go travel 600 miles to wrestle in front of 5 people. Like, you shouldn't have to do that now. And everyone goes, well, that's how you make the towns outside. No, that's how you did. Like, you don't have to do that. There's so many smarter ways. It's just ridiculous. Like, take the quality over the quantity. You're not going to learn anything wrestling somebody 500 miles away in front of 10 people. And everyone goes, no, that's how you do learn. You don't learn it. You do learn by doing it this way, and you do learn a little bit there, but like I said, the risk reward, the return on investment, it's not worth it. Like, you're not going to go have that aha moment there. You're just not, and you're not going to, no one's going to discover you. So you're wasting a lot of time and mileage.
I think it's valuable for them to just do it a couple times, just see what it's like. 'Cause I think we've all done it. Like, one of my first matches, I drove all the way to freaking Ohio and in front of like 20 people, and like, I'll never forget the experience. But I learned from it, and now like ever since I joined here, I'm way more selective.
Yeah, like,
so when I'm taking bookings, like,
I remember Cutler went and did a booking right before he left. And I told him before he took it, I said, you should be angry that you're going to be there. Just think that in your mind, because you're better. Like, my mindset is we're better than everybody out there, no matter what. Even our worst kid is better than most of the people out there. And so he got in the locker room, and like everybody's laughing and joking around, and I see him, and he's miserable. And I was like, why? He goes, 'cause I can't get out of my head what you said. He's like, 'cause seriously, I'm looking around here, I want to punch everybody in the fucking face. He's like, everybody here is a slob, or they're just goofballs, and they're talking shit, and they don't know what they're talking about. And I said also, watch how many motherfuckers just start talking loud about their matches, because they want to seem like they know what they're talking about. Because we had them here, like, before. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, okay, we're going to do that. Why can't you just have a conversation like this about our match?
oh yeah, I see it all the time. I still see that.
It's so annoying, because like they want to seem like they're like in on it, and it's just, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like a minute into the business or a year into the business, and they have it all figured out, and then because they surround themselves in that little bubble of shit.
Yeah.
So I can imagine what you've seen, because I mean, before training here, how many shows did you do?
Oh, I did a lot. I mean, I probably had almost 150 matches already at that point. Maybe only like 20 were quality, at quality places that took care of me.
You just got to
like
wrestle.
a lot of the guys, a lot of the places were just like, you know, there's no discipline, there's no structure there, so I wasn't really learning from anybody.
Well, I could tell when like we had those girls wrestle, and I said, you got to keep to the times, because I start a show exactly 7 o'clock, and you're going to screw up the structure of the show. And we told them to take it home, and they went another 4 minutes. And then I cut a promo on them. I mean, I didn't yell at them and scream at them, but I said, listen, we have times for a reason. Like, what did you think take it home meant? And like, they were crying, and I felt kind of bad. But then in the end, I'm like, they're gonna remember that. They're gonna realize, like, we run things a little different here. We run it, and you know, Christopher Daniels brought it up at the camp. He was talking about like different people don't go by times and all that, and he's like, but you know, Danny and them do. But like most people, they don't even care about times. Like, just go out there and kill it.
Yeah, well, coming here and the way you treat times and keeping the show tight, I needed that practice because now when I'm wrestling on TV, I have that skill set and it's a little easier for me to gauge time.
Well, now it's going to get
so important. I can't mess with time. You know, you can't.
Dude, it's about to get even crazier because you thought we were doing production before. We're going to, as soon as 2018, we're going to get down to like one show a month, maybe two.
It's got to be real tight.
But it's going to be real tight, and we're going to have commercials. We're going to have interview segments. We're going to have different vignettes. We're going to do everything top to bottom, unbelievable. We're going to have, you know, stuff playing through the screen, everything, because I really wanted to get to like a television production, but a different style, because like we're never going to be all the bells and whistles that WWE is or even Ring of Honor, but we can give that cool, unique feeling in our building and try to capitalize on that. So yeah, that's going to be sick. But yeah, like, and it's so frustrating because the other schools don't even do that. They just go out and kill it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. Like, I guess it's okay to the standpoint of like, you know, because they're pretty popular and shit like that, but like, what disservice are you doing to the kids? Mm-hmm. Because now if they go somewhere, like I want it for when our kids go to Ring of Honor, they're ready.
Yeah.
Because I got to have a conversation over there, because I want to start sitting in, not getting like a payday, but sitting in to see how all their production works, so I can take it and bring it here.
Right.
So like once our kids go there, it's done. You know, we're ready to go. Same with like the cameras. If they use what, 3 cameras, the hard cam boom, and then 2 handhelds.
2 handhelds, hard cam, and the
boom. The
Yep.
Okay.
4.
I can't do that. I can't do the boom, but I can do the 2 handhelds and a hard cam.
Yep.
And just got to go there, and I got to get new editing software and stuff like that. So I want to find out, like, I got to take software courses and all. Wait a minute, that's a money grab. Why should I invest in myself? Assholes. So you got into the camp. How many camps did you do before you started getting on TV?
Oh my God, like, I must have done like 6 or 7 camps.
I think I was at.
But like I would progress every time.
Right.
You know, and started off as just this nobody guy. Then the second one was probably, I think, with the War character. And then the third time was, one day it was War, and they're like, you know what, why don't you act like War, but don't wear the mask.
Stop doing that, because you're going to boom, boom, boom the mic.
So the second day I wasn't War, but I was War,
okay,
in a way. And then I think they started figuring out, oh, maybe this kid's got like something special about him. And then after that, it was just, they were pretty happy with what I was doing. So
how did you get?
I would go to the camps just to as a learning experience, because I was kind of getting my foot.
Yeah, I went all the time. I would sit there.
I still go just to watch and learn. And I learned just from watching the other kids go. And,
that's what blows my mind for people not to go. Like,
go.
It's just amazing to me. Now, with you, how did you wind up getting teamed up with Shaheem?
Well, we were just training at the dojo together, and I remember going to Tennessee with the ring crew one time, and we weren't going to wrestle. We were just doing ring crew, didn't expect anything, and it was lunchtime. This is a good story. It's lunchtime.
Shaheem had a milkshake and passed out?
Not quite. No, not quite. So
5 milkshakes
we're like,
passed out?
all right, it's lunchtime. We're not wrestling. Let's go to Chipotle. All right. So I remember this vividly. We're like, all right, we're not wrestling.
Let's get a chip with metal in it?
No. We're getting double chicken, double steak. Load this thing up. So we're just like stuffing our faces, and we get back to the building. We're ready to sleep. We're like, all right, where can we go? Like, take a nap. And Kevin Kelly walks up to me and goes, "Hey Gio, you have your gear with you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're wrestling on TV today." I'm like, "Oh shit."
I'm a bloated mess.
I'm like, "Oh my." So I'm already freaking out. I'm sweating. I go to the bathroom. I start puking. I start like trying to throw up everything that I just ate.
Amazing.
I put on like all of my clothes that I have with me. I'm just jump roping for an hour, just like because I felt like crap.
Yeah, of course you did.
And I tried to sweat it all out, and luckily, like I felt okay, and we got to do a little, squash match with the Decade. That was with Jimmy Jacobs, who's now working for WWE. My friend Chris LaRusso, and Adam Page, who's part of the Bullet Club now. And that was our first time working on TV. We had never done a dark match before that, anything.
So it was you three against them?
It was me, Shaheem, and a kid from Canada, Chris Chambers, I believe, against Adam Page, Jimmy Jacobs, and the person they would do a little gimmick where they would try out a new guy.
Yep, I remember.
LaRusso was the guy that they tried out that day. So it was a 6-man tag, and it was our first time going out there, and we did okay. And it was crazy though. It was a crazy experience. We were not eased in. It was just like thrown to the wolves. So we did that, and then we did a couple more, enhancement matches. And Shaheem and I would get paired together because we were on ring crew together. And then eventually we were like, why not just team together? We're training together. We've known each other for years now, since the factory days. We travel together. So we just pitched something, and I think we had a summer of just doing random tag matches, and eventually they decided to put us in this trios tournament with another guy that competed in the Top Prospect tournament, Jason Kincaid.
Yep.
And in the match, we hit the sick coast-to-coast move.
Right.
All three of us jumped and hit it coast-to-coast. And that was it. And Kevin Kelly, I think it was Kevin Kelly, pitched the idea, why don't you and Shaheem be called coast-to-coast? That looked pretty cool. Why don't you throw that into your matches? And that was it. We started at the factory, trained together, traveled together, and just organically turned into a team.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's so sad because but it worked out for you. But Cruz,
they had their thing.
Dude, AC Rock was over, and they
cool.
loved him. I know Kevin Kelly loved them. He was just I remember when he was sitting at the table and watched them, and they came out, and the crowd was going ballistic.
Yep.
He goes, "Come here, Dan." I go, "These kids are over just a little bit, huh?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Yeah, just a lot." And it was just, but it's just one of those things where someone's door, got closed. You gotta take that opportunity, see if your key fits, and go. I mean, it worked out perfectly for you guys. And the thing is, out of the guys that started here, it was Cruz, Spanos.
Oh, Spanos too. I haven't even mentioned him.
Who's he? Cruz, Spanos. Love you, Spanos, even though I know you're not watching because I know you're an asshole. Cruz, Spanos. I love you, Spanos. I really do. Cruz, Spanos.
Bennett, Gibson.
No, but originally.
Before
coming to this building. Cutler, Spanos, Cruz, Shaheem.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that Shaheem would be the one that's still wrestling other than Cutler. I would have guessed Spanos and Cruz would be killing it. I would not.
Well, I could never question Shaheem's love for wrestling.
He loves wrestling.
And that's what will take him. That's why.
But man, he's such a.
He's a character.
He gets away with it because he's lovable because he's a goofball.
Yeah.
But he's infuriated. I mean, I've spent hours trying to talk to the kid. It's just, I love him. He's like my special nephew. He's a great kid, but man, sometimes you just talk to him and he just goes, and he didn't get it. But that's the Shaheem. That's the charm of the goofball that is Shaheem. It takes a special kind of person to.
You got to be messed up in the head to make it.
Absolutely.
You got to be real messed up.
Yeah, absolutely do. Or you have to be so unbelievably everything else that makes you stand out above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so weird, the path that this whole thing has taken, and people that have been in and out of these doors, and it's weird, man. It's so weird to look back. I was telling them on the radio show I just did, I have 4 hard drives of just stuff that some of them I have never even seen the light of day. And like I said, what sucks is one of them crashed, and they were all in folders. And what happened was it crashed. I recovered all the files, but now they don't have names on them, and they're not in folders. Oof. So there's literally 10,000 clips in there. I don't know about 10,000, but there's a lot of fucking clips. And they don't have names or anything, there's just numbers. It'll say 78999432894. And I have to open up the clip to figure out what it is. Yeah. Some of it's edited material, some of it's stuff I've never even watched. So I've been slowly going, okay, this is training video, this is interview stuff, this is setting up the ring. It's just, I wish I had a crew to go through it. because I got to start doing more with the network and stuff like that, but it's just so.
I don't think there's any other school in the country that archives as much as we do.
No,
We have
no.
everything on tape.
And
Everything you could think
And not
of.
only that, we actually put it out there, because my biggest thing was, when I started this, I was like, why not document everything we do, and then they can see what we do.
What it takes.
And now all the wrestling schools are trying to do that,
Yeah.
even though they can't do what we do, because, like I always say, they're like, why are you giving away the secrets? I go, everybody knows the secrets to nutrition and working out. Do all this and you'll look great. How many people look great in the world? Not many. So I could give them the secret on training, on how to do social media, on how to do this. The difference is I get up every day and do it, and we get in here every day and do it. Not everybody does that. So it doesn't matter what I give you or give away,
Yeah,
the secrets, they can't do it. That's why, like I say, I'm the greatest in the world, and I'm confident about that. So what do you got coming up next week?
Next week, I've got an event in New York, in Brooklyn, which would be pretty cool. My first time wrestling there for Tier 1. Then the next day, I got to get down here to Philly, take a flight at like 6 a.m., and get to Charlotte, North Carolina for Ring of Honor TV. Got Coast to Coast versus Best Friends, and they're pretty hot right now.
Oh yeah, they're the best. I actually like them a
Chucky
lot.
T and Trent, so that'll be really fun. It's a new challenge for us.
Yeah, Trent's coming into his own. I remember watching him and seeing him in WWE and all, and I was like, I don't know why he left or if he asked for his release or they got rid or they let him go, but like he's I think they missed the boat on him because like I see what he's doing now and how he is now. I think he's really, really good, really good. Better than what I was led to believe by watching WWE. I could see like he was a star, but like I could see now he's so much better.
Yeah.
And Chuck is just Chuck. He's good. Now, when you do that, when are you coming back? You're going there, and then what? You come back Sunday?
Right after the show, I think.
How many?
We're
Is it a
heading
TV
back.
taping?
TV taping.
How many shows?
4 episodes.
4 episodes. So it's about 2.5 hours of wrestling.
No longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, TV tapings usually take a long time. Usually like 4 hours. It's supposed to be an hour an episode.
Right.
They actually film the whole hour.
Right, and then it breaks down to 46 minutes of usable
Yeah.
content.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, 4.
Yep.
I was thinking half hours. That's right, 46
So,
minutes. With
it's a long day. It's a long day. We get in just like here. We get in early. 1 or 2.
And that's another reason why I do what we do here. Like we don't need to, like we get in here literally at 2 o'clock
Yeah.
call times. We don't need to, but I do it because that's what other places ask, and so our kids get used to it. So once
Yep.
somebody starts doing it, they go, "Oh, this is easy. I did this here." Like if we're going to train the guys to do stuff in the ring that they're supposed to be doing in the pros, why not have call times that are similar? Keep the times, breakdown, set up, all that other stuff. Like I said, it's like a career center, and not just you get in the ring and you learn some cool shit.
Yeah, you don't just show up to Ring of Honor and just get in the ring. And
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
You have to talk with your agents and find out the direction of your matches and what they want. And then you also have to talk to the camera guys. Like that's what I like to do. I like
Yeah.
to talk to the camera guys. Hey, this is what we have, for our match. Can you be here, here, and here? There's just so much that goes into it you can't take for granted.
Yep.
Like one of the things I hate about indie wrestling is guys showing up to the building like at bell time or like right before bell time. Like,
Yep.
if you want to take this seriously,
In a
as
pair of
career,
tank
you,
tops,
you gotta
jeans,
you gotta take
boots.
this seriously.
Work boots, just like whatever, dude.
I take pride in the preparation of it. So
Me and Kevin Kelly said it, and I agree with it. You know, wrestling doesn't need bag carriers. Anybody can show up to wrestle 10 minutes and then leave. But you need to do all that extra stuff because that's the stuff that's going to get you the jobs, and that's what I try to stress to everybody. Like, I've never gone, that guy's unbelievable, I have to get him in here. I get him in here, and I see the kind of guy he is, and then I go, I want that guy back. That's why, like I was just talking to Dijak today, and he was thanking me for giving me the opportunity. He goes, thanks for giving me opportunities I never deserved. I was like, dude, you were the man. Like, he was here, 2013 or whatever. I was like, you were the man, dude. Like, I loved having you in. He was supposed to be wrestling Mikey Webb next week, but Mikey Webb's going to go do Ring of Honor.
Right.
So, yeah, I like quality of people.
yeah, you should bring BJ Walker back.
Yeah, so he can fall asleep. Right there was his bed, folks. Right there was the guy begged me to come in for months. We bring him in, and he lays down in the middle of the locker room as we're setting up for the show and just falls asleep. We're back, folks. We were just talking about stuff that we can't discuss on air. Just the names in the story, so that's why. But it was hilarious. Slip me $50, PayPal, 4monsterfactory@gmail.com, and I'll let you know who we were talking shit about, what we said, whose names we brought up, whose we didn't. It's a cash grab, folks. It's a money grab. So what would you say your experience, what do you think your wrestling life would be without the Monster Factory right now? And hurry up and paint us as the greatest thing ever, and go.
I'd be weekend warrior. I would be training maybe once a week at like some random place. I'd be probably doing something like that.
I'll edit that out. I edited that out too.
I'd be doing shows on Wednesdays for free somewhere.
We do shows for free here.
I make a lot of money here, all right? It's a money grab.
Just so you guys know, everybody who wrestles here for
Don't tell
us,
them that.
No,
I make a lot of money.
no,
Shit,
no. It's in our
don't say that.
contract. Our contracts are if you train here, you wrestle for free. That's why it's a lifetime membership. But you can still sell all your stuff. So sometimes these kids walk away with $100 or so. But it's part of the training and all that stuff. Outside town gets paid, but our guys, they don't. And it's part of the show. Same way they don't get paid to break down or set up the rings and all that other shit.
But yeah, I wouldn't be training at a quality place. I would be taking random bookings. And like the thing that I hated about my life before here is I'd go to a show and I wouldn't get that feedback from a good veteran. You know what I mean? Like it's literally like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, you did good, kid.
Yeah. That's what I would hear. Oh, good job, good job.
Good job, kid.
And you don't learn anything from that. I talked to some people at MCW last weekend, and they were giving me feedback, and I was like thanking them so much because
yeah, I love MCW.
you go to so many places and they say good job, and you get nothing out of it. There's nothing redeeming.
I always apologize
I hate
because
it.
like sometimes I'm not watching matches, so
Right.
people ask my feedback. I go, dude, I can't give
Right,
you any
well, you're not
feedback.
doing that on purpose.
I was like, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Like Luis is here, Wiles is here.
Right.
You ask them; they were the ones watching the matches. The biggest thing I get frustrated with is just constantly having to explain hard cam and this and that. Like it's infuriating. So you probably wouldn't be in a position you're.
Oh,
at
not
right
even
now.
close. I'd have bad habits. I wouldn't have any experience with Ring of Honor, nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that.
Yeah, that's why. Like,
I don't know what I honestly have no idea what I would be doing.
And
I
you
would've
wouldn't,
lost my mind.
and you wouldn't be with the love of your life.
Right, that too.
Like, just saying.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
What blows my mind is like people that are here and they walk away.
Yeah.
And then it all has to be my fault.
Right.
Or Luis's fault, or QT's fault, or somebody's fault. It can't be their own. Like, you're treating such and such differently. You're doing this like, if they only knew how many breaks I cut and how I looked out for people. Yeah. And that's another reason why we're a little different. Like I got in an argument with somebody, well, not an argument, but he said like, your job is just to train them to wrestle. I go, no, that's not. Like that's what's wrong with other wrestling schools, because there's so much more in wrestling than just wrestling, just in the ring. Like it's everything, top to bottom, even stuff like this. Like I started just doing this again so people can get used to talking. Like that's what like I get on Nick about texting me and communication, because Nick's big problem is communication.
Yep.
And he doesn't realize why I'm doing it. Like in his mind, I'm picking on him, or it's stupid for me to, get back to people. I shouldn't have to. And the worst is other people, whether it be from here or somebody else, will be like, well, you shouldn't have to because you do such and such, and WWE is going to sign you, or you're doing this and this. No, but that's even more reason to do it. Does that mean you shouldn't lift weights now?
Right.
You shouldn't do drills in the ring? You shouldn't do 100 squats? Like, where do you draw this line? Like, there's rules for a reason, and those rules I put in place are the rules that are going to keep your job.
Well,
or get you
I
the
treat this
job.
place like a job. I mean,
Right.
I don't make money out of it, but I treat it like a job because I want to be prepared.
Yeah, it's an investment. I mean, like, why would you go to school to fail?
Right.
Why would you go to Harvard and be like, I'm going to barely show up, I'm going to do shitty, and by God, somebody will hire me to be a lawyer? No, you'll fail.
Yeah. That's why people think I'm insane, though. Is I drive like 82 miles to get here, like 3 days a week.
But it's
Sometimes it's 40, but
it's repetition breeds habit.
It's ingrained in my system now.
Yep. Yes, sir.
I literally have a school down the street from my house.
I know.
I can walk there.
I know.
I can walk, and I choose to come here.
Yep. That's why you're the man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, give them your social media so they can follow you.
It's Leon St. Giovanni. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's all the same. Leon St. Giovanni LSG. Look me up, Google me, you'll find my stuff. Download Fight app. Get the the MF Network.
No, we're not on the Fight app.
No, the Fight app for ROH.
Oh, okay.
Fight app for ROH. MF Network for Monster Factory content. That's where you can find me the most. And YouTube, just LSG.
All right, folks, that's it. And our next guest is going to be a special guest. I will be in Virginia recording some people, and there's going to be some names there, so I'm going to be doing interviews with them. We're going to take this on the motherfucking road. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm old as fuck.